Hello everyone. I welcome you all to this 30 days masterclass series on electric vehicle design using MATLAB Simulink. Today is day 8. This is Malaipan from Pantech Solutions. I welcome you everyone here. I welcome Sandeep, Mohammed, Nilisha, and Nilesh, Anuj, Abhinav. Welcome Dhananjay. Welcome Prince Kumar, Sandeepan. Warm welcome Omkar, Logan Thurai. Welcome Ramu. Warm welcome Gajendran Annamalai. Welcome participants. Welcome Surya Teja. Welcome Gautam Verma. Very good evening Manish. Very good evening Sudarshan Sanjay. Welcome. Warm welcome. Yes. Am I audible now? Uh, Participants, please comment. Am I audible? Yes. Thank you. Very good evening Satvik. Vishnu Prince Kumar. Welcome Guru Gopi. Lok Maya. Akash. Warm welcome. If anyone join today will get the certificate. See, actually, if you need a 30 days webinar participation certificate, you should submit 25 days attendance. Yes, thank you participants, thank you Aditya. About the Pantech is a educational equipments manufacturing company, and from this Pantech you can get the power electronics, power electric drives, solar renewable energy lab, and fuel cell trainer kits. Everything you can get it, and you can get a DIY based project learning. So Pantech will help you to build your own project. So here you can get a complete mentorship how to develop your own project if you have any project. And our vision is to help 10 million students learn the technology in easy way. So far, we have trained about 1.5 lakh students. So this year, we have targeted 10 million students. And announcement today is the last day to join in the batch 1 EV internship. If you are interested, you can join here. And the attendance form will be provided in the live chat at 7:30 p.m. And certificate, e-certificate, you have to submit 25 days attendance to get a e-certificate, which is completely free event. Yes, thank you. And if you have any questions, someone has keep on spam the chat. Yes, thank you. So let's move to the topic. So today we are going to discuss about inverters. See, actually, in this inverter, first we will discuss what is the basics, where we are using the inverter in our vehicle application, EV applications, and then what are the types, and how this actually inverter is working. So everything we can discuss in detail. And similarly, final MATLAB demo, I have prepared two experiments. So, have you installed all the MATLAB tool in your computer? Still, people are struggling to install the MATLAB. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. So, have you still are you facing a issue while installing the MATLAB? Still, are you facing the issue for installing the MATLAB? So, please comment. Thank you. Thank you. Installed. Very good evening. Showing error. Okay, what kind of showing error? So I will send you tomorrow. I will send you an email. So how to install and then how to install the driving scenario app in your MATLAB. So please check your tomorrow email, tomorrow morning email. Yes, no, someone has not installed. Yes, For vehicle body, you have to install Driveline app, Driveline toolbox. You have to install Driveline, Simscape Driveline. Yes, thank you. Format of the certificate which is available on the internship portal itself, so you can check it. For the webinar certificate, you can get for webinar certificate, you can get a webinar participation. So like that, you can get it. So while if you are not able to install find Driveline toolbox, so again go to MATLAB and then add click get add-ons button and search Simscape full. So that will give you the clear installations. Thank you, participants. So actually, I am using MATLAB 19B. I am using, so better keep any latest versions. See, because actually a lot of the toolboxes will not support for the older versions. So my strong recommendation is better keep any latest version. For access of the internship portal, after this live, I will give you reply in WhatsApp. So please share me your questions in the WhatsApp message. So after this live, I will give you the solution answers. So now let us in our EV system. First, we have some different applications like in the charging stations, onboard charger, inverter drive, and then supply. So each and every model has its own functionality. So in the EV charging station will help you to charge your battery. Similarly, the onboard charger also will help you to charge your battery. And here the inverter drive. So this inverter drive is going to give you the perfect control signal for the motor, right? So when then only you can drive your vehicle safely. And so here depends the motor type, the inverter type also going to vary. And if you are having a DC motor, then the inverter will act as a 4-quadrant chopper. So in that case, we will use a I mean a full bridge or H bridge type chopper circuit or inverter circuit. The single phase inverter can work as a single phase, I mean DC full bridge chopper or single phase inverter. So let us check one by one. So this today we are going to discuss in detail about the inverter drive. So how it is working and then where we are using everything. In the actual in the actual EV system, see here this is the inverter entire traction motor system will be placed. So suppose if it is in the front wheel guided vehicle, if it is in a back wheel guided vehicle, the entire system will be placed in the back wheel side, right? So actually in this traction motor system, so first one is the motor is placed in adjacent to the motor, and then gear system will be placed. Suppose for the high power motors, again you cannot get a low speed application, so generally the motor will generate a high speed. So in that scenario only you have to use the gear systems. So by default the EV system does not require the gear, because we can operate an electric vehicle at any speed range. And within this system itself, the inverter model will be mounted. So now today topic we are going to discuss in detail about this topic, right? So today we are going to discuss in this about this topic. So entire topic we are going to discuss. So what is the inverter, what is a type, and then how we can understand the working principle of the inverter. But in the market, suppose if you are a EV design engineer, so by default the manufacturer will give you the entire bundle like a motor and then inverter drive and then gear systems. So everything the manufacturer, the OEM manufacturer will give you the complete bundle. So simply you can buy the model and then you can plug in your vehicle, and then finally your vehicle will be ready. But we should know as a researcher, we should know what is happening inside the inverter, and then we should know the working principle. Then only you can choose, because in the market there are variety of manufacturers are available with the different specifications and then different ratings. So everything you have to identify, and then what is the plus and then what is the minus of the each and every manufacturer, if you know the detailed working principle of the inverter. So that's why we are discussing in detail about the inverter. So first we should know the working principle and then types and MATLAB demonstrations. So are you ready to learn these concepts? If you are ready to learn the concept, please comment in the comment box. So please comment in the comment box. Yeah, if you are ready to learn these concepts, please comment in the comment box. I'm ready or ready. Just comment in the comment box ready. Someone has asked, today is my first lecture, then what about e-certificate? Yes, thank you, Mr. Raman. E-certificate, to get a webinar participation certificate, you must submit 25 days attendance. And if you submit the 25 days attendance, you will get a complete 30 days webinar certificate. Suppose if you are submitting less than that, so you will get a 15 days webinar certificate. So not a 30 days master class. So you will get a webinar participation certificate for 15 days only. Yes, thank you, participants. So I'm very happy to see your reply so that we can discuss in lot. And then if you have any questions, please ask your question, complete questions in the question and answer session. Yeah, thank you. So now let us move to the type. So what is inverter? So do you have any idea about the answers? What is inverter? So inverter is a power electronic device to convert from DC to AC. So battery supply is a DC supply, and output, we need output as a AC. So that's why we are using the DC to AC device. So it's called inverter, right? So here for the inverter we will use MOSFETs or IGBT device. See here in this model, so this the entire model we will use like a MOSFET or IGBT. So these two devices are the common device which we are using in the inverter topology, and this is the ready-made device which is available on the market. Simply you can use it for conversion of DC to AC. Like if your input is a 24 voltage DC and output is at 230 voltage, then simply you can buy this inverter and then you can use it. But so as a researcher, you should know what is happening inside this device. So that is our main agenda of today's topic. Yeah, thank you, participants. Thanks for your valuable comment. So now uh, let us take a block diagram of electric vehicle. So here this is simple electric vehicle block diagram. So here we are going to discuss, this is the inverter model. So this topic only we are going to discuss, right? So here we should know the two things. So one is called input. What is the input? And what is the control signal? Simply we can call it as a pulse width modulation. Simply we can call it as a, sorry, pulse width modulation, right? So this entire block will generate a PWM model. So generally it will be the logic will be programmed in any one microcontroller. And for this inverter, the main input, so generally we can call it as a DC bus voltage. So that bus voltage we can get it from the high power battery. The output is the desired voltage is generated with the help of microcontroller by the inverter module, and that voltage will be applied to the motor. So in that case the motor will rotate on the specific conditions. So this is the main application of the inverter in our electric vehicle systems. So now let us take a types of the inverter. Based on the load type, we can call it as a single phase as well as the three phase inverter. Similarly, based on the output waveform, we can have a square wave inverter, modified sine wave inverter, and then pure sine wave inverter. See, if you take any inverter, so see here, if you take any inverter, so just to take this graph. So this is the input voltage. So from this we are going to get it like so. This is the output voltage of the inverter square waveform, right? So this is called a square wave inverter. Similarly, we can modify the square wave into modified sine wave, right? So here we have to construct on a sine pulse width modulated PWM models. So from this from this square function, again we have to convert like this. So the pulse width will be based on the sine amplitude. So actually in the middle size or middle portion of the sine wave, the pulse width will be high, and similarly for the corner side will be the pulse width will be very less. So like that we have to get a lower side, that is a negative portion of also. So like that we can get a output from the inverter model. And pure sine wave from inverter, so based on the sine samples we have to generate a PWM. So that we will show you the demonstration in the MATLAB demo. So how we can generate this one, right? So this is generalized types of the inverter. So let us take a single phase full bridge inverter. So this is the DC bus voltage. So simply we can connect a battery voltage with V battery plus terminal and then negative terminal. And so this is a 4 MOSFETs has been used. 4 MOSFETs, T1, T2, T3, T4. Then the working principle of the inverter is, so if you take a input voltage, DC input voltage, and now we have to generate a PWM for the T1 and then T2 is the common pulse, and then T3 and T4 is the common pulse. Suppose if you take T1 and then T2, the battery voltage plus terminal is connected to the T1 and then load and T2, so return to the source. So this is the one path. So in that case, the current flow may happen so in this direction. So similarly, if you take a, if you are applying gate pulse for the T3 and then T4, so in that case, what it will happen? The plus terminal will connect to the load via T3. Here the T3 and return to the negative via T4. Okay, so this is in the opposite direction. So in that case, so here there is no any connection. So this terminal is connected to this limb, and this terminal is connected to this limb. So at this moment, the load voltage. See here the load voltage. This is V0. So this V0 always will get a positive voltage for some time and then negative voltage for some time. See here the output voltage will be like this. So this is the output voltage. So even though we are applying a DC, then we can get a we can get a controlled output voltage of AC functions. So positive voltage for some period and the negative voltage for some period, right? So this is very simplest working principle of the induction single phase inverter, right? And so this is a three-phase inverter. So to understand the working principle of the three-phase inverter, you must know what is the degree of the electrical degree, like 0 to 360 degree. In our AC voltage waveform analysis, we have discussed about what is a 0 degree and then what is a 180 degree and then what is a 360 degree. If you clear about that degree conversions, then here also you can easily understand the concept. So for the three-phase inverter, we will have a three-phase output. So phase A, phase B, phase C, and we are applying only the DC bus voltage. So this is a positive terminal and this is a negative terminal. So for each and every phase, you will have a two switches. One is called upper switch and then another one is called lower switch. So the upper switch will always connect to the high voltage and the lower switch will always connected to the zero voltage or negative voltage. So we can call it as a high side switches, and then we can these switches are all low side switches. So now let us understand what is the working principle. So here to understand the working principle, you should know the conduction angle. So here you have a two different type of conditions. One is called 120-degree condition and then 180-degree condition. So what is 120-degree and then what is 180-degree? So let us take in the 180-degree. So three switches will be on state and then three switches will be in the off state. Whereas in the 120-degree mode, two switches only will be in the on state. Remaining all the four switches will be in the off state. See, if you take our inverter, so the six switches are mentioned, Q1 and Q2, Q3, Q4, Q5, Q6. See the numbering. If you have a clear idea about the numbering, you can easily understand the working principle of the inverter. So the first switch is that Q1, and then second switch is that Q2, and the third switch is the Q3, and fourth switch is the Q4, so which is for the bottom side of the A phase, and then Q5 and then Q6. So here we can numbering like this one. See here, if you take this one, you connect this one. So just take, and so this is A phase and then B phase and then C phase. So just number it 1 and then 2, and this is 3, and this is 4, and this is 5, and this is 6. So this is the numbering of the MOSFETs or IGBTs, whatever it may be. If you give like this number, then you can easily understand the working principle of the inverter. So that's why we are just to keep in your mind this about. So this is the positive and the negative. Positive and negative, right? So now let us understand. So this is the actual AC power supply system, so AC voltage, right? See, take this graph. So take this graph, black color graph. So black color graph is starting from 0th degree and rotating via the 182, and then finally it will reach to 360 degree. See here, how we are assigning the number. See, in this case, so let us consider the 0 degree. So from the 0 degree, the voltage is starting from 0, positive 0, and then positive voltage and then negative. So like that you have to numbering this device. So here this voltage is 1, and then this is the phase C is 2, and negative 1, that is the phase B, right? So this is called phase B. So here the phase B is going to connect at 3. So like that you have to number this one, right? So let us consider this graph. So let us take the same circuit, three-phase full bridge circuit, and the light colors are the negative voltages, and the dark colors are the positive voltages. See the phase A, so the positive voltage, the entire period will be the positive voltage, and then light colors are the entire period will be the negative voltage. See, in this point, if you group this entire waveform, and you can get you can identify the symmetrical voltage. So for certain period, see for each and every, so let us take this one, the mode entire time period for the mode 1. So the voltage will be in the symmetrical one. So A will be the continuous positive, and then B will be continuous negative, and C will be the continuous positive. Suppose if you take a 0 instant, and then let us take like 5 seconds. I'm taking for sample time only, just 5 seconds. So for the 0 to 5 seconds, the entire voltage will be the positive, negative, positive, right? See here, similarly, yeah. So similarly, for the next one, so mode 2, entire period of the mode 2, the phase A will be the positive, phase B will be the negative, and then phase C will be the remain negative, right? So like this you can identify the similarity between these three waveforms. So like this you can run this waveform from mode 1 to mode 6. Okay, so from mode 1 to mode 6, so like that we can run the graph. And so now we have to turn to get this type of output, you have to turn on the MOSFETs. So accordingly, so during the mode 1, Q1 we have to enable it, and Q5 we have to enable it, and Q6 we have to enable it. So since this is the 180-degree mode of conduction, so this is 180-degree mode of conduction, right? For 120-degree mode, so for 120-degree mode, either we have to choose any two devices. So in that case we have to remove the fifth one, and then we have to turn on sixth and then first one. So let us consider only the 180-degree mode. So let us consider only the 180-degree mode. For mode 1, if you turn on this MOSFET 1 and then 5 and then 6, then you will get a this voltage, right? And similarly you can get a B phase negative and then C phase C phase positive. So like that, for the mode 2, suppose if you for the mode 2 you have to turn on Q2, Q6, Q1, Q2. So like that you can turn on. See, for example, if you take this value, first let us understand Q Q5 6 1, and then 6 1 2, and then 1 2 3, and then 2 3 4, and then 3 4 sorry 4 5, and 5 so here 5 6 1. So like that we can rotate the flag. So this is the mode 1 and mode 2, mode 3, mode 4, mode 5, and so this is mode mode 5, the mode 2, mode 3, mode and 561 mode 6, sorry mode 6, right? So like that we can generate the switching pattern. So if you generate this switching pattern, then you can easily achieve the desired output voltage. So now the point is how we can generate the switching pattern for each and every MOSFET. So for that one we have to calculate we have to use the pulse generator block to generate a square pulses, right? So in the mode 2 switch 1 2 and then 6 will be turned on, and similarly mode 3 switch and for mode 4 2 3 4 2 3 4. So like that we can turn on, right? So if you generated this voltage, then we can get a output. How the voltage will be calculated? See, for example, for mode 1 we are going to turn on mode 6 5 6 and 1, right? So if you take this mode 1 first MOSFET, and then sixth MOSFET, and then fifth MOSFET. So this three switches is going to be in the turn on side, right? See here, if you take this graph VDC, and Q1 and then Q5 has been connected. So see here, Q1 resistance and then Q5 resistance, and the negative voltage is connected to the individual resistance. This is, so all resistance is connected to the negative port. So this is neutral point, right? So this is a VAN and Q5. So this is a VCN and this is BN, right? So if you calculate this total resistance, if you calculate the R equivalent will be, how it will be, like R plus R by 2, right? So this, if you connect if you sum these two resistance, then you may get a R by 2, and this is the total R, equivalent R. So if you sum this entire resistance, you can get a R equivalent value. So now you have to take calculations. Just to take this graph, yeah, see here VAN, VBN, and then VCN. So like that you have to calculate it. See here R plus R by 2, so 3R by 2. So this is the R equivalent. And now you have to calculate the current I1. So Vs divided by R equivalent. So during this period, 2 Vs divided by 3R. Suppose if you calculate the voltage AN, so if you want to calculate the voltage at between these 2 points, I1 into R divided by 2. So in that case, we know the I1 value is 2 Vs divided by 3R. So this is called Vs by 3. Similarly, you have to calculate all these all these 6 intervals, right? So if you apply this one, you can get a square pulses. So that will be the trapezoidal voltage. So like this, you may get output voltage. So now the time is how we can generate this voltage. So let us move to the MATLAB. 1 month internship is also available. If you need, you can check it. And so let us move to the MATLAB demo. So I'm going to open the MATLAB. Go to Simulink. So go to Simulink and open your MATLAB. Yeah. So just run this simulation and create a new file. So first let us develop a single phase full bridge inverter, and then we can go for the three phase inverter. And already we have discussed about sine pulse width modulations in the day 1, I think so. So just to recap that PWM, and we can use that PWM in this experiment also, so that we can reduce that time. My laptop taking too much time to install these things. Sorry for the time delay. Please accept this delay. So generally MATLAB will take too much of runtime memory. So that's why this kind of time consumption is happening. Yes, meantime you can ask your questions. So if you have any questions, you please ask me. It's Abhishek. It's too fast. So actually, it's a theoretical part we have to cover up because others' time is more important. 180-degree conduction mode or 120-degree mode conduction. So we can do both the things. How MOSFETs are controllable? See here. If you apply a PWM, then the MOSFET will get turned on. If you remove the PWM, then the MOSFET will get turned off. So that's it. That is the working principle of the MOSFET. Just to save the simulation. Create experiment 1. So let us first let us develop the single phase inverter. So I'm going to draw single phase inverter. So like this I'm going to draw, right? So now we need a 4 MOSFETs, MOSFET 1 and then MOSFET 4, and then DC voltage with DC voltage and then load resistance, right? So these 4 components we need to build this build this inverter. So just to take a DC bus voltage, so we need voltage source, DC voltage source, yeah. So just take a DC voltage source and then take a MOSFETs, and finally you have to take a resistance load. The motors depends the type. Suppose if you are using the motor like PMDC, it's a DC motor. For the BLDC and then other PMSM and all comes under the IC category. So just to take a DC voltage bus. Yeah. So now take a MOSFET. take a MOSFET and remove the measurement block, so that for simplicity purpose, remove the measurement block, rotate the component. For rotating the component, take control R. So this is MOSFET 1, and this is let us name it, and this is MOSFET 2, and this is MOSFET 3 and MOSFET 4, right? So this is the 4 MOSFETs we are going to use in our circuit. Just to connect as per the circuit diagram, and just to connect as per the circuit diagram. Yeah. So now we are going to connect a load. If you have a load value, like suppose if you are having, if you are going to design a 1 kVA inverter, so in that case you can choose load, RLC series load. So just to take a series load, and type the nominal voltage will be the 230 voltage, and the nominal frequency is about 50 hertz, and then active power here you can mention 1 kilowatt, like 1000 wattage, and then here you can apply the resistive and then capacitive power. So just remove that one. So now we are going to power load our inverter for 1 kilowatt. So just to take here, you have to apply 325 voltage is the DC bus voltage, or 350 voltage you can apply. And now we have to generate a pulse with modulations. So take a pulse generator block. Take a pulse generator block. See, the pulse generator is, see here. So for the first pulse generator, like a frequency 1 by 50 hertz, and then 50 percentage. See, actually for the MOSFET entire turn on period you have to apply a pulse. So whenever you are removing the pulse, then the MOSFET immediately will get turned off. So this is the pulse for the MOSFET 1 and 2. So this is the pulse for the MOSFET 1 and 2. So just to take a go to function. Just to take a go to function. And so let us connect pulse 1 and 2. So just to connect here pulse 1 and 2. Just to connect here. The same pulse we are going to apply here, right? Similarly, you can invert the pulse and then you can apply here. So just to take a NOT gate, and invert the same pulse and connect it here. So this is called P3 and 4. Just to save the simulation, and take the extract the pulse. So this is the go to function, from function. So now I will show you the name also, function name. Just I'm going to enable the name. For enabling, disabling the name, just to go to format and then show block name. So now you can easily understand. So this is the go to function, this is the from function. Yeah. So all are similar one. So now this is the pulse generator block. Yes, this is the resistive load R0. So now we have connected everything, and we have to include the header file. So like header file. So what is the name of the header file? So can you please comment in the comment box? Practically, which component generate the PWM? Microcontroller is used to generate the pulse width modulation. See here, all the MOSFETs will connect according to that function. So can you please comment what is the, yeah, correct, Mr. Sohim. Power guy, we have to include it. So just search power guy. Yeah, just change to the continuous to discrete to get accurate result. So now we have to run the simulation for 1 second. And again we have to add the measurement block. So just to take a scope voltage measurement, take a voltage measurement, connect across the load, and similarly you can connect, you can take a current measurement also. And take a current measurement. Similarly, input voltage measurement also we have to take it. So this is the input voltage measurement, and so just take again one more block. This is input VDC, VDC input, and I naught. This is I naught, and another one. So this is the V naught. So now everything we have connected. So take a scope block, scope, take a scope block and make it 3 parameters we are going to measure it. So just to take a from block, first one VDC input, VDC, and this is I naught and V naught also. So this is V naught. So like that we can connect, and now we are going to see the output of these 3 parameters. And similarly we can connect, we have to measure the signals, that is the PWM signals also. See here, just to take P1 and 2, P1 and 2, and P1 and 2. Okay, let us take another one, P3, 4, and V naught also. Just to take another graph. So input voltage, pulse width modulation, and then output voltage. So here the input voltage, output voltage, and then current. So like that, if you analyze the graph, then you can easily understand the concept. So take a VDC input, VDC, 2 pulses, and then output voltage. So now we have configured all the block sets. So now we have configured all the block sets, and just to rotate, run the simulation. So let us wait how this can be. Just to run the simulation. Yeah, so it's initialization. Yeah, now it is over. So now let us check the output. Open this graph. So change the layout. See here, we are applying a 0 to 3, I mean 325 voltage is the output voltage, sorry, input voltage. This is called the input bus voltage, and this is the pulse width modulations. See the pulse width input, pulse width, first pulse is for the MOSFET 1 and 2, and then second pulse is for the MOSFET 3 and 4, and we are deriving the second pulse from the first one, right? So this is the first one and this is the second one, and similarly we are getting the output whenever the pulse is positive for the 1 and 2, and then we are getting the positive voltage for the pulse is in the 3 and 4, then we are getting the negative voltage. So like this you have to construct a single phase inverter. And suppose if you have if you know the sine pulse width modulations, so just to take a sine pulse, sine wave generator, and repeating sequence, take a repeating sequence, so that you can generate a triangular functions. And for how to assign this repeating sequence, for time values 0, 0.25, zero point 0.5, and then 0.75, and then 1, right? And divided by into the time period, so 1 by 50 into 21 times, this is the time period. Or else you can keep it 1000 5 kilohertz switching frequency, this is called 5 kilohertz, 5000 uh, hertz, 5 kilohertz, 1 divided by 5 kilohertz. And then time period here is 0, 1, 0, minus 1, 0. Suppose if you want to assign this, if you want to understand this repeating sequence, please refer the day one or day 2 class. So it's like detailed information is available. So the time period is assigned, and then sine wave. So sine wave 2 star, pi star, 50 hertz. So other than this, no need to configure. So now this time period sample time is more accuracy, right? So in that case you have to adjust the simulation model settings. So just go to model, open the model settings, and change the procedure. So change the solver procedure. So change to the fixed step. By default it will be variable step, so just to keep it fixed step. And next one you have to change to the solver details. To open the solver details and modify 1 e power minus 6. So if you apply, then you may get a proper sine waveform, otherwise the block will generate a random signals. So now we are going to connect. So just to take it and compare the value, take a relational operator. Yeah, just to take a relational operator and connect it, change the logic. So just to connect this one. So now you can get a now you have developed the sine pulse width modulator. Sine pulse width modulations. See here the same output, but the output voltage will be it will not be a square pulse, so it will be a sine functions. So just to increase the value, zoom the graph. See here the output, this is the output voltage. The output voltage will be like a maximum pulse width, and similarly this is for the negative maximum pulse width. So like that we can change the firing angle. And see here if you change the amplitude, instead of 0.1 you can keep it 0.8, then you can get more again some of more accuracy. Yeah. Yes, now you can get easy view. See why we are getting the why we should use a sine pulse width modulation. So let us take this graph. So input and then output voltage. So in the output voltage and then output current. So see here, so both are in the pulsed one, right? Suppose since it's a resistive load, the current also shows that the current, I mean what, rotating the positive to negative, right? But average voltage, that is in the AC side, RMS voltage will be a pure sine waveform. So now if you increase the resistive load, so you actually generally the inductive reactive power will be maximum 20% of the active power. So in that case, like 20.2 into 1000. So this is called a 20% of the active power. So inductive active power, just apply this one. And now the situation is we have added the inductive load. So see here, now the current waveform, see this is the current function. So this current function by default it will be moved to the sine function. So since it's a sine pulse width modulation, we have to add a filter module to achieve a pure sine output voltage as well as the sine output current. So without filter, the voltage will not get vary, but the current will get changed. See here, the current will get earlier the pure I mean pulsated waveform, but now the current waveform has been varied, right? So like this, the current function may vary, but in the square functions, like you cannot get this one. See here, this is the sine pulse width modulation. Suppose if you are applying the square function, so what it will be? If you are changing the pulse, if you are analyzing the output current for the same scenario, see here the current function is more square waveform. But while you apply a sine pulse width modulation, somehow improved one. So now if you calculated the firing, I mean filters models for the removing the to improve the sine functions, in that case you have to add a EMI filter to achieve a pure sine output voltage and then output current. So like that, you can implement a single phase sine pulse width modulation. Similarly, we can generate a square pulse also. Sorry, similarly we can increase. Similarly, we can develop a three-phase function also. So for the three-phase inverter, again we have to use the same logic. So let us check one by one. See here. So now we have to generate a three functions, right? So just remove three phases. So I'm going to change this one. Three phase PWM. Yes. So remove this one and include this another one, another leg. Another leg. So now we have to generate a pulses. See here, M1, this is M2, and this is M2. So just let us delete one and then we can recreate it so that we can easily develop a block. So just to take a MOSFET, rotate the component, remove the measurement port, and this is the M1, right? So just connect accordingly. MOSFET 1, and this is the MOSFET 2, and MOSFET 3, MOSFET 4, and MOSFET 5, and MOSFET 6. Okay, so this is the switching pattern. Okay, sorry, inverter structure. So now we have to generate a square pulses, PWM pulses. See here, this is the P1, P1, and so this is the P4, P4 pulse. See here, so this is the P1, M1, and then M2. So for M1, the pulse is 1, P1. So for M4, the pulse is P4. So now just to take a from block, rotate it. So this is the P1, P1, and this is the P4. So the inverted pulse will be the P4. And similarly, now we have to generate a pulse for the phase B. So for this is let us take this is the phase A. So let us generate a phase B. So for the phase B, again just to copy the same one, and for phase B, this is P3, and this is the P6. P6. So here this pulse should be 120 degree apart from the pulse 1. Okay, phase 1. So now how we can generate a 120 degree? See, 120 into 1 divided by 50 divided by 360. So this is the simple calculation to generate a 120 degree, right? And P3 and then P4. So just to name the variables. So this is the P3, P3 and P6. This is the P6, right? And similarly, we have to connect load also. So let us check one by one. Just remove it, rotate the component. So let us take 0 resistive, then we can go for the inductive. Or A phase, take a B phase and C phase. So just to take this one, and so this is the neutral point. Okay, so this is the neutral point. So now so now we have to generate a phase, I mean phase C also. So phase C also, and again here we have to modify this one. This is the 120 degree and 240 degree. So this is C phase will be the 240 from the phase 1. Okay, so 240 from the phase 1, and this is now you have to change it. This is the phase P5 and P2. And again just to connect here, this is the P5 and P2. So P2. So now all these 6 pulse width PWMs has been applied. So now we have to connect a voltage measurement block. So just change here. And so now we are going to connect A phase and then neutral. Similarly, let us name it VAN. So this is VBN, VB voltage, and then neutral point. So this is VBN, BN, and VCN. So VCN, this is CN, C, and then neutral point. Yeah. So now we have to measure the pulses. So just to take this one. So 6 pulses, let us check. P1, P1, and P2, so P2, and P3, P4, P5, P6, P3, and P4, and P5, P5, and P6. P4, P4, 5, and 6. So let us take all the graphs 4 on 4. Yes, and take VCN also. Yes, just you can take it. We are going to measure input voltage as well as the output voltage. So this is VAN, right? So now we have configured all the inverters. Now let us check output voltage, how input and then output is responding. So my all of you, please follow this procedure and then get practice so that you can get more idea about the inverter sections. So just run the simulation. Error, pulse generator block. Sample time is not integer. Fixed step time. Just to change the parameter. So just remove this block, and sometimes actually that previous header data will be stored in the data history. So just to change it. It's not an issue. If you clear the workspace data, then you can get it actually. Yeah. So now we have run the simulation. Yeah. See here, input voltage we have applied, and if you zoom the graph, see each and every signals has been phase shifted on 60 degree. So this is the output voltage of the VAN. And so this is the PWM first pulse, and then second pulse, and then third pulse. So from this again it will be shifted to the 60 degree, and then again 60 degree, and then again 60 degree. If you combine all these things, each and every phase pulses will be in the 60 degree phase difference. So if you apply this one, then you can generate a 180 degree mode of conduction inverter output voltage. So now we can take the another graph. You can take another graph, just remove this input and then output. Take input as well as the output. So let us measure input voltage, input voltage, input voltage, and then output voltage. So take a mux block to combine all these three input, V, VAN, 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 and VBN, so that you can identify the phase displacement also. So for the purpose, we have to use this one, VBN and VCN. So this is a VCN. So VCN, just to connect. Just to connect, then now just run the simulation. Yeah. Yeah, see here the input voltage as well as the output voltage. So this is the phase shifted output voltage. So like this, we can generate a signals. So is it clear? So the three inverter output voltages has been generated. So this is 180-degree mode. Similarly, for the same scenario, just remove the change the pulse width modulation from 150% to I mean to sixth percentage. To sixth percentage, then you can get a 120-degree mode of conduction. And while you generate the negative pulses, then you have to generate a different logic. So I think you have understood the complete idea of the inverter pulse in three-phase inverter generations. So try to practice the same pattern and get the output. If you have any clarifications, then you can comment in the comment box. Now you can get the output. Now you can ask your questions. So 1 month internship. Today is the last day to join in the batch 1 to try to use this facility. So batch 1 EV. So this is the coupon code. So now you can ask your questions. Thank you participants. Thanks for your Gajendran, Ravindra. Thank you. MOSFET, you just search in the tool work area, you can get a for identify the MOSFET, just to go to MATLAB, open the library browser, go to Simscape, go to electrical, specialized power systems, and fundamental blocks, so power electronics. So here you can identify all the blocks. For the internship people, VIP group has been uploaded in the day 1. So please check in your internship portal, or else you please WhatsApp me after this live. I will reply you. 98409 This is my WhatsApp number. You please WhatsApp me. Please tell 120-degree mode of conduction simulation. Actually, for the 120-degree mode of conduction, so take this pulse 1, change to the see here 120-degree mode, right? So 120 divided by 360 into 100%. This is the pulse width. And for the P1 it's a 0 degree, and then for the P2 calculate the same one, right? So 1 divided by 50 divided by 360, this is the 1 degree time period, and 60 degree phase shift, 60 into the time value. So this is the P1, sorry, P1 0 degree, P2 is the 120 60 degree phase shift, and then P3 here the 120 degree you have to apply, and for the P4 you have to apply plus additional 60 120 and then 360 180, and for the P4 and 180 plus 60 180 plus 60 like a 240, right? And P5 240 plus 60 300. So like that you have to apply. So this is the P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, E6. So simply you can apply, then you can generate a pulse width for the 120-degree mode. Thank you, participants. Thanks for your valuable time. Please add automobile branch in attendance form. Thank you. I will include in the next thing. Please show the comparison of sine and then three phase. This is the assignment for you for YouTubers. You know the three phase, single phase sine pulse width modulation. Yeah, so you know single phase pulse width sine pulse width modulation, and you have to add, as you know, sine pulse width modulation, single phase pulse width modulation. Similarly, you have to generate A phase, B phase, and then C phase. So the triangular is repeating sequence is a common. That is a carrier. So if you apply, if you compare the procedure, then you can get a sine pulse width model, three phase sine pulse width modulations. Yeah. If you have any more doubt, you please ask. Yes. Internship student, you can download the project files presentations. Yeah, video watch is allowed. Video download is not allowed. What is firing angle? Mr. Karthik, see, the firing angle is nothing but a conduction period. So see, for example, if you want to turn on the actually generally the firing angle we will call in the AC to DC rectifier model, rectifier block. If you take if you take this input, so if you apply the PWM at here, so this is called the firing angle. So it will be calculated to 180 degree. So 0 and then 180 degree. And whenever you are turn on this time period, so this is called the time period. So this period, suppose let us take a 45 degree. 45 degree. So the 45 degree is called the firing angle or else conduction angle. Can 360 and can the 30 days webinar can be considered as a internship? Yes, suppose if you are joined in this 30th day of this webinar and in the internship mode. So finally, you are all the webinar attendance will be considered as a internship. In that case, also you can get your internship certificate. For that, you have to join in the internship option. For generating the triangular functions, triangular waveform, you can use the repeating sequence. To get a pure sinusoidal output, you have to apply a sine pulse width modulation. You have to download SimScape Electrical also. Yes, Mr. Roman, absolutely correct. You have to add SimScape Electrical also. Where internship? See, actually, in this internship option, we will give you complete recorded classes, so you can access the recorded classes at any point of time. And if you access the recorded classes, and then if you submit the attendance submit the assignments, then you are eligible to get a internship certificate. What is the use of relational operator? So if you want to compare any two signal, then you have to use the relational operator. Yeah, book name, this is PS Bimbra. Yes, you can use this one. How PWM technique changes the frequency? See, actually in the PWM technique, you have to adjust the carrier waveform, carrier frequency. So if you change the carrier frequency, then you can change the PWM. Thank you, participants. Thanks for your valuable time. If you feel today class give you the clear idea about the inverter design, so please share your video feedback to my WhatsApp number. So this is my WhatsApp number. This is my WhatsApp number. So you please share your video feedback. Assignments in the internship portal, we have given you some task. Build this three-phase inverter and build the closed loop applications like that. I have given some assignments. You please check once again. Please extend time for access to videos in internship. See, actually, this is the 30 days game plan. If you access the 30 days video and within 30 days, then you will have an additional 30 days. Like actually 60 days is the access period. And still, if you need a more time, then you have to write a request message to our email ID, concern email ID. Right? If you say if you raise your request, then we will extend you one more time. So still you may get two more months additional. That is only one time, so not a frequent. So with that block also you can generate the triangular waveform. Thank you, participants. Thanks for your valuable time here. And please share your video feedback to my WhatsApp number. So this is my WhatsApp number. This is my WhatsApp number. Please share your video feedback to my WhatsApp number. Internship can do endorsement in LinkedIn. Yes, you can do. You can endorse it in LinkedIn. It's being a APSDC certificate, then you can use it. How many tools we need to add? Please send the list. See, actually, while you installing the MATLAB, so please include all the toolboxes. Please include all the toolboxes. Yes, Mr. Jubin, you can include it. Not an issue at all. Thank you, participants. Thanks for your valuable time here. So let us meet tomorrow session. Thank you once again.